Let's begin today's Vanguard news, or lack thereof, with Bushiroad trying their hardest into making former buddy fight players feel at home by issuing some Vanguard-sized buddy fight logo sleeves. This is the first time Bushiroad has made logo sleeves for a collab. Not even Bang Dream got this treatment, and they own that property as well. For those wondering if we English players would ever get the buddy fight collab, DZTB01 comes out in English in late November. Guess I can save some money knowing that I won't need to spend anything on this game for that month. Anyways, we got more Dragon World cards with Tasuku and Jackknife Dragon reveals, but because I'm not feeling too well and need to sleep early for Bushiroad's PowerPoint presentation later, I will once again skip describing the abilities and would just leave my critiques. We are starting with the grade 1 ride line, because Tasuku also uses the Dragon World flag as his starter, and he seems more of a downgrade from Gao, since he can only search for Jackknife and not an equipped card. I guess recycling what you discarded for riding ain't half bad, but costing 1 soul blast seems too fair compared to what Gao does. All Tasuku does is babysit Jackknife, which heavily reminds me of Eva. Tasuku and Jackknife is starting to feel like a start deck cards, with Gao and Drum are the more expensive cards from a booster. Like what the actual hell? Drum SD even lets you turn him into Soul Guard. This one however is just a free booster. Now we are getting to the good shit. At least that's what I want to say, but a front row retire and a 10k power buff isn't really that amazing. Still good though. Remember when I said that this deck is reminding me of Eva? The extra crit is making Jackknife into Obscudeed, and it seems like the deck will power up Jackknife to at least 20k even on the opponent's turn, in order to discourage opponent from attacking your rear guards. Burn energy, more like store energy. You're getting 2 gauges just for using this card's ability on top of a draw and power. Definitely one of the better resource manager cards in the game in general. It feels as though Bushiroad can't think of another way to make a dragon themed deck with a restanding Vanguard without it looking like Vaga. At least this time they have the creative idea of making this card into an arms order that also changes the base power of Tasuku to 20k, as well as giving players more reason to run the original Elementaria Sanctitude, in order to make sure you have Gold Ritter, as it's the only way for the deck to actually do something besides being a worse Gown Drum. Finally, this is just getting a stand trigger and giving it to your Jackknife rearguard with an extra crit. Overall this fails in comparison to what we saw with Gao and Drum. Bushiroad is probably hinting that Tasuku's better cards will be in Star Dragon World. And that concludes this Vanguard news without the bullshit. Special thanks to my Patreon members for continuing to support my content creation. Be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments if you prefer if I don't explain full card effects and just want my straight opinions.